Hello, my name is Soki Valorant.GG, and I'm joined here with benjyfishy from Team Heretics for our live Champions Seoul coverage following the Team Heretics versus Gen.G group stage matchup. Thank you for accepting today's interview, benjyfishy, and congratulations on the victory today.
Thank you.
So the first question I'd like to ask is regarding the downtime you've had since your first opening match. Your victory against FPX was a little muddy, to put it lightly. You've had over 5 days of off time since your first match. So what lessons or mistakes from the FPX match did you try to improve on in the practice that you've had in the days since?
I think a lot of it was just the fundamentals, like just basic stuff, peeking together, communication. I think all of those things, like they're easy to do, it's hard to like master. I think the point that we were like at our best in like those things was in Shanghai. I think that's why we got second place. I think it dropped a little bit towards stage 2, end of stage 2 playoffs, and that's why we're doing badly. And we've just been kind of building it up over time. I think the break that we had between stage 2 and champion starting made us improve a lot. And it was just because our fundamentals have gotten a lot better, our comms have gotten a lot better. I think that's also why we won today. So.
Great to hear, great to hear. So on the note of Shanghai, though, today was your rematch against Gen.G from the finals. The last time you played them, you fell 2-3. So did you have like any initial thoughts going up against them again, especially with playoffs on the line this time?
I knew it was going to be a hard game, like very hard game, because they're just a very good team. But I don't know, I was feeling really confident. I think I could feel the improvement that we had like between like this game and FPX game. I could just feel us improving, like just in scrims, in practice, in our mentality, which I was really happy about. And that's the reason like I was feeling super confident. Obviously, you can't control whether you win or lose a game. You can just control what you do inside the game. And I think we did the best we could, and that's why we won.
Right, great to hear, great to hear. So, and then also by playing today's matchup, you went against the home team, who were also overarching favorites to win the event as a whole. How did it feel on the stage playing against the overwhelming crowd favorite?
I felt like I never really get nervous anymore. I felt like the pressure's always higher when you're, not when the crowd isn't on your side, but we've done this so many times now. Like Shanghai, we played against all Chinese teams. We know what it feels like to have the crowd against us. But I actually feel like the crowd here was also kind of supporting us, which I was pretty happy about. Like we had some cheers, so I was happy. I think some Gen.G fans are also fans of us, which is quite nice. Thinking about it now, it must be kind of hard for them seeing us two play against each other if you're fans of both. But it felt good. Like the crowd was loud, which is what I love. I like being able to hear the crowd. If I do something sick, like hearing the crowd scream through the mics, like it's a really good feeling. So I don't really care if it's against us or with us. I just like having a loud crowd.
Oh, right. So today's match also marked Gen.G's debut on Abyss, and it was your map pick. But in contrast, Heretics is one of the few teams that have played Abyss 3 times ever since its addition to the map pool. So how is playing or practicing Abyss different in Asia compared to what you typically see in Europe? And how, if in any way, do these differences kind of reflect in your approach to Abyss now?
Obviously I think a big thing is just the Asian playstyle. Like just playing and scrimming teams here is different than scrimming teams in the MEA. Like people play a lot different. Like there's some teams in Europe that play the same as APAC teams. If I had to note some, probably CGN play like an APAC team. Ascend also play like an APAC team. But they just have like a lot crazier playstyles. Sometimes they also have like crazier comps as well. So I think it's just getting used to different comps. We played against Euro and scrims before. I think it prepared us well for this game against Gen.G. Because before coming to APAC, we had never scrimmed against Euro on Abyss. So people like Euro here. So.
All right, great to hear, great to hear. So, and then even after gathering some great momentum in the second half of Abyss after a 1v1 by Boo, Abyss ultimately kind of fell out of your hands. But overall, towards the end of the map, it fell 11-13. So what do you think were some of the things that kind of started to go wrong?
Go well, you said?
Or go
bad?
Yeah.
It is hard playing against a team that you have no info on. They had info about how we played, but we didn't have info about how they played. I think we lacked some balls. Like we needed some more balls, some more confidence, because we were playing a bit like pussies. I think if we played some more with some more confidence, we probably would have won this map. But I think we started gaining some over the next 2 maps. And that was just a big help. Like you've got to have confidence again against a team like this, because if you play like pussies, they're just gonna beat you. So it was mainly confidence.
Right, right. And then moving on, you didn't know much about them. So did anything about Gen.G's comp besides the Yoru or the way that they kind of work around Abyss, did it kind of stand out to you in any way?
About their playstyle or their comp?
Like
Sorry.
either one, either one.
Either one. I mean, they're just crazy, man. Like they are an APAC team. They're like a coordinated APAC team. You know, they'll just take 1v1s. As always, like they'll take 1v1s. They'll like do crazy stuff. Like they'll swing through smokes. But I mean, they're a lot more coordinated. Like they'll swing through smokes together with util. Sometimes they don't. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're very coordinated. And it's why it makes it so hard to play against, because they do unpredictable stuff, but they do it well and they do it together. And it's quite hard to counter sometimes. I think we found ways on how to counter it, but in general, like you can be prepared for it, but if they do it well, you'll just die. So yeah.
Right. So moving on to map 2 now, even though Gen.G kind of stole the anti-eco away from you on half 2, you didn't let their advantage get too out of hand, even though you were down 10-5. So what kind of change on Heretics' attack approach to kind of steal Lotus away from Gen.G?
I mean, first of all, it is an attack-sided map. We knew that. I think defense is just difficult to play on Lotus. They also have a good attack, like we knew that. I think again, it also just came down to confidence. I think like part of the timeout, like between at the halftime, was just like, guys, we gotta have some more confidence, because if you play like pussies, you're just gonna lose. So yeah, we played with a lot of confidence. We were playing together. And obviously, I think we had some clutches that went our way as well. And yeah, I mean, that always helps. Like just playing, like we played a lot more together. We played with confidence, which I think we lacked on defense and also in Abyss. So yeah.
And speaking of confidence as well, so on Lotus, Gen.G had a whopping 15 first bloods on the map. Do you think that kind of thing about confidence also carries over, even though you're kind of down in most of these rounds?
Damn, 15? That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, with the way Gen.G play, they always kind of like, they're hunting for the first kill. Like they're hunting and then they'll go back, they'll chill. I think, yeah, like you've got to have confidence when you're also like, if you're down 4v5 or 3v5, you've got to have confidence to go and do something that's going to win you the round. And like against Gen.G, even if it's like a 5v5, if you just let them do what they want, they're probably just going to kill you. You've got to do something extra. And I think that's what we were doing. Like we were making plays, like, I don't know, on post plant, doing stuff like this. And when we didn't do that, we lost. So we kind of realized like we need to be doing more than what we think we should do. So yeah, I think that was the big reason for sure.
Great to hear. So moving on to map 3 now, you flipped the switch for Bind and you swapped out Raze, Fade, and Brimstone for Yoru, Astra, and Fade. While you played most of these agents before, you never played this exact comp before. So how was this agent combo kind of decided on for today?
I mean, yeah, as you said, like we played similar comps in kickoff. Like we had the same idea of like just a ton of flashes. And yeah, I think we mainly did it just like we did like comfort picks for us. Like all of us are comfortable on the agents that we play. And we knew that if like we knew that Gen.G would have anti-stratted us, basically. We knew that they would have anti-stratted us just because we've played so many times the same comp, we've played the same sort of style. It's getting to a point where like it is just very anti-stratable. So we just kind of swapped it up, and we knew like, I mean, if we spend some time on changing this comp, they're gonna be preparing for a completely different comp, and they'll have like no chance of knowing, like, if we're being realistic, they're not gonna have watched our kickoff games from stage 1 on figuring out how we play this comp, So yeah, I think we played it quite similar to how we did then, obviously with some changes, but yeah, I think it was made just because we knew they would anti-strat us, and we weren't like super comfortable with our old comp anymore.
Thank you. So off the back of your Lotus comeback, you got off to an incredibly strong 8-4 lead. What do you think went right on your starting side on Bind in contrast to how Lotus kind of began? You were on the opposite side. You were down 4-8 on Lotus to get to such a commanding start on map 3.
Yeah, I mean, it felt good being in the lead, for sure. For me, I don't really think about the score too much. Like, momentum, I feel like momentum's just a lot more important. Like, gaining or losing momentum is like for me, I focus on like each round at a time. I don't really think about like, oh, what's gonna happen next round, whatever. Like, oh, we're starting to lose momentum. Like, I kind of just focus on the present, and it's something I've been working on like a lot. Just not worrying about like, oh, like we're gonna lose the game. Like, I should have killed this guy. Whatever. Like, if you focus on that, then you're just gonna lose to yourself. So yeah, I mean, I focused on each round at a time. It obviously felt good. You know, I was happy that we had such a good attack sides. Like it gave me confidence because I was also just playing good. And yeah, I mean, going to defense, like we just went in with the same confidence.
Right. So on that note, then you kind of had like very little concerns or like no concerns, even though it got closer and closer as the map went
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Yeah. Wait, you want me to answer that, or is it?
I mean, like just
Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah. As we started losing rounds, like, I could feel the momentum kind of slipping away from us, but I wasn't really worried. Like we messed up some rounds. Like it happens. Like it's always gonna happen. Even when you're a really good team, you're just gonna like. When you're against a good team such as Gen.G, like if you make a mistake, they're going to capitalize on it, and that's what happens. So I wasn't too worried. It happens in every game, you know, every sport, it's whatever. So yeah.
great to hear. So you went through a well-fought and incredibly close victory today. So how does it feel to get revenge from your loss in Shanghai? I know that you said there weren't really any bad relations, but I mean, you lost the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't really hoping I would win grand finals. So yeah, no, it definitely felt good. I think also the fact that they're kind of like the favorites of champs, and that, I mean, they were the favorites to beat us as well. We were kind of underdogs. Kind of reminds me of like when we first made the team in kickoff. Like every game we were just underdogs. It felt good being underdog again after we've had so long of just being like a really highly rated team. Obviously, people still rate us, but they didn't rate us higher than Gen.G, which I think was understandable. It was understandable. So to finally, become the underdogs again and to win again, it brings me back to like early days of the team. So yeah, it feels really good.
Right. So on that note, you were the underdogs, but you still managed to qualify first in your group, and now there's 3 teams left. You have FPX, Sen, and Gen.G. So if you had to pick just one of those 3 teams to qualify alongside you, which one would it be?
If Gen.G don't qualify, that would be something crazy. I want to be dead honest. Like, I mean, the thing is, it is a group of death, right? Like, everybody's really good, but I think Gen.G's still on like another level. So yeah, I'd be really surprised if Gen.G don't qualify. So yeah, I just have to go Gen.G.
And I can only imagine how happy you are to be out of there.
Yeah, it feels great, mate. Oh, I'm chilling now.
Good to hear. So I have one more question for you here. So during map 1, you kind of seem to be looking at your mom and your brother on stage as they did the halftime interview.
Yeah.
So how does it feel for you to be playing with the support of your family, and how significant of a difference does it make for you, especially in the most important event of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important for me. One of my goals at the start of the year, I had like a notes page on my phone, and one of them was like how my family and friends watch me like at an international tournament. I mean, first of all, it was to qualify, so now it was to kind of let them watch me play.
Right. And
for Shanghai, I had 2 of my friends coming out to Shanghai, and now this time I've got my mom and my brother. So yeah, it feels really good. It's really nice to see them, just in the crowd, being able to see them like after games or before games, whatever. Like it's like a nice kind of break from how intense everything is when you're, in VCT. So yeah, no, it's a big relief.
Does it get you like kind of emotional at all?
A little bit. I mean,
or like not really noticeable, but like
yeah. I mean, no, it definitely. I mean, it makes me happy, like really happy. Like I'm super happy that they're here and not back home in England. So yeah.
All right. And on that note, thank you so much, Benji. Good luck on playoffs. Thank you.